Tonight, what's next after President Biden's historic visit to Israel? Here's the latest. NBC News is reporting that President Biden will deliver a primetime foreign policy speech to the country tomorrow night at 8. The Oval Office address will detail the administration's response to Hamas's terrorist attacks against Israel and Russia's war in Ukraine.
It comes after Mr. Biden flew to Tel Aviv, pledging his support for Israel in the wake of the Hamas attack. In the meantime, there are still more questions about who is responsible for bombing a civilian hospital in Gaza, leaving at least 500 dead.
And top congressional lawmakers are beginning to receive details of a new funding package the White House is expected to submit to Congress this week. While it is not yet finalized, the package is likely to seek $60 billion for Ukraine and the rest for aid to Israel, Taiwan, and the U.S.-Mexico border.
In Cleveland, we heard tonight from a longtime Middle East expert who gave his take on the Israel-Hamas war and what we could see next.
The virtual discussion was hosted by the Maltz Museum. Aubrey Buckley has more.
The more Palestinians who are killed and injured, the more the anger on the Arab street rises up.
As the Israel-Hamas war wages on, internationally renowned U.S. Middle East analyst and former State Department historian, negotiator, and advisor Aaron David Miller is sharing his expertise. The Shaker Heights native led a virtual program with Case Western professor Avidan cover Wednesday night.
If you ask me for a motive of the Hamas attack, certainly not to defeat Israel. It's to radicalize and to create as much distraction and tension in the Arab world, creating a sense that the Israelis are responsible for thousands of Palestinian deaths, which is a very useful tool in their propaganda kit.
Miller says the Palestinian Health Ministry is controlled by Hamas and is inflating casualty numbers following the deadly explosion at a Gaza hospital Tuesday. He predicts the destruction of Palestinian homes, businesses, and social services is going to be extraordinary as concerns grow over relief efforts to those in Gaza.
We already have a humanitarian catastrophe, seems to me, in southern Gaza, and the Israeli ground campaign hasn't even begun.
Now, this is just a small part of what he explained in the hour-long webinar. He also touched on Hamas as a terrorist organization and how complex it is to try and eradicate the group, even with Israel's robust military. Betsy?
Aubrey Buckley, thank you.
Of course.